Boston City Council. This is the first meeting of the year, and it's been a great year already with the inauguration of our new mayor, Mayor Marty Walsh. My name is Charles Yancey, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as your presiding officer for the opening of the first session. I do that not because I have the most years on the City Council, 30 years. That is not why I'm in this position. But based on the city charter, the eldest member of the Boston City Council is required to open up the very first meeting. And even though I look like I'm 25, I am indeed, I assure you, I'm the oldest member here. At this time, I will ask the clerk to call the roll to ascertain the presence of a quorum of the Boston City Council.
Councilor Siomo. Councilor Flaherty. Present. Councilor Jackson. Here. Councilor LaMattina. Here. Councilor Linehan. Here. Councilor McCarthy. Here. Councilor Murphy. Here. Councilor O'Malley. Present. Councilor Presley. Councilor Wu. Councilor Yancey.
Here.
And Councilor Zachem. Mr. President, we have.
I have been informed by the clerk that a quorum is in attendance. And let me take this opportunity to welcome 4 new members, 1 returning. I want to welcome back Councilor Michael Flaherty. Congratulations, welcome back. Flaherty served as president, and I'd like to remind him, vice president of the City Council when I was president in 2001. Also like to recognize an individual with more than 20 years of experience working in city government. He now serves the people of District 5 and the people of the city of Boston. I'm referring to Councilor Timothy McCarthy. Welcome. And yes, it's my honor to recognize Boston City Council at Large Michelle Wu, and the son of a friend of mine, a friend of Boston, Josh Zachem, representing Of course, I congratulate all my other returning colleagues. You fought hard, you won the race for the opportunity to serve not yourselves, but to serve the city of Boston. So now it's my honor to introduce the Reverend Charles Stith, who I've known for the better part of the last 4 decades, who served as the ambassador representing the United States of America in Tanzania. And he now heads up a very important department at Boston University. He happens to serve as the director of the African Presidential Archives and Research Center at Boston University. And as you can well imagine, his resume goes on for about 10 to 15 pages. I will forego that, Mr. Ambassador, and simply ask that you come and offer invocation to the Boston City Council.
I'm going to take a point of ambassadorial privilege and say a couple of things first, so you can sit down. First of all, let me express my appreciation to Councilor Yancey for the invitation to offer this invocation for the opening session of the Boston City Council. He indicated that one of the reasons he wanted me to do this was that I might invoke the name of Nelson Mandela, one of the world's great statesmen whom we all mourned his passing last month. And my sense is his thinking was that Mandela represented that kind of model of leadership, a profound commitment to reconciliation, leading without bitterness and rancor, a resolve to the fulfillment of justice and fairness. What a role model for leadership at any level. At a personal level, I stand here with a profound sense of the cycle of life's seasons. My relationship with Consular Yancey, as he intimated a moment ago, is long and enduring. Many, many years ago, when I had a full head of hair, I didn't dress quite so elegantly, Ambassador Flynn. I headed up a major voter registration drive that helped lay the foundation for his first election to this body. And one of the many folks involved in that effort was the late Herb Jackson, the father of Consular Tito Jackson. This invitation is also special to me because it is the inaugural meeting of Consular Josh Zakim, whose father, the late Lenny Zakim, was one of my dearest friends. And I stand here this afternoon as proud of him as the entire family. I just saw his mom walk in. I saw one of the sisters over here earlier. I'm as proud of you as the family and as your father would be today. Now you may stand. The very brief prayer that I will offer this afternoon is a petition that I hope has meaning for the oldest to the newest members of this body. Let us pray. Lord God, thou who art great and gracious, merciful and mighty, thou whom we call by many names and know in many places, I pray for the members of this body, that they exercise their responsibilities with a sense of humility and honor, and that in doing so, that those whom they represent will always be hopeful. This city faces some great challenges. The majesty of its alabaster towers casts long shadows that at times make it difficult to see with clarity what life is like for the least of those in our midst. We exclaim and take pride that we are a city of neighborhoods. But make these leaders mindful, make us all mindful, that it is more important that we see ours as a city of neighbors, where the real testament to our success is the extent to which we give full expression to the call to be our brothers and sisters' keepers. For these esteemed women and men, O Lord, I pray, grant them wisdom, grant them courage, lest we miss thy kingdom's goals. Let us all say amen.
Thank you for the inspiring message, Ambassador Stith. At this time, I ask that everyone remain standing as we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Yes, we will excuse our ambassador and reverend for today. Let's give him a round of applause. Before we hear from Angie Cowles, I simply wanted to mention that Charles Stith was far too modest. He played a critical role in the anti-apartheid movement, and back in 1984, it was the Boston City Council that initiated a divestment movement for other cities around the nation. And when Nelson Mandela was in the city of Boston on June 23rd, 1990, he intimated that the reason he was here was because of the legacy of the city of Boston in the fight against apartheid. And that is certainly a very, very proud tradition. It goes to show how important the Boston City Council is, which actually initiated that process. So thank you again, Reverend Stith. We almost got arrested together when we occupied the South African Council's office, and we told the South African Council that if he doesn't resign, Mal King, Willard Johnson, Charles Stith, Reverend Charles Stith, and Charles Yancey were going to get arrested because we were not going to leave the South African Council's office unless he resigned. And of course, he shocked us all when he reached into his pocket and read his resignation letter back in 1984 in December. So thank you again, Reverend Stith, for that. At this time, we're going to be blessed with a song by Angie Cowles, who's been here before. I won't read her resume right now, but I will say that she's a very prayerful person and someone who is full with the Spirit and full with a love of our great city. So without any further ado, I would like you to rise once again as we hear from Angie Cowles as she sings the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Much, Angie. You may be seated. I would like to, at this time, recognize a great citizen of Boston, someone who dedicated many decades of his life, including one as mayor of our great city. Mayor Raymond L. Flynn, where are you, Mr. Mayor? A beautiful young lady sitting next to him was our First Lady, Kathy Flynn. Thank you so much. Also, would like to recognize Representative Nick Collins. Where are you, Representative? Someone who's certainly no stranger to these chambers, Councilor Felix Arroyo, soon to be department head here. City Councilor, someone who represented District 1 with great distinction, Boston City Councilor Diane Modica. Where are you? And it looks like we have a representative from the greatest baseball organization in the world, winner of the World Series, John Lucchino. Is John in the audience?
Larry.
Larry, I'm sorry, Larry. Lucchino's not here, okay. He will be here very shortly. My wife has been with me for a few years, and she asked me not to tell you how many. We're going to celebrate our anniversary January 24th, but I won't say how many years. Mrs. Charles Yancey and my daughter Ashley, are you in the audience somewhere? I have to do this so I can get home. Oh, they're way up here. Terrence is there as well. He's now the patriarch of the family. And Marzette and I have been blessed with 4 children, and believe it or not, 5 grandchildren. And many of them were at the ceremony earlier today. I am going to dispense with my 30-page speech today. Don't applaud on that. But simply say that Boston is, I believe, the greatest city in the United States of America. It has allowed me, a son of Roxbury, to represent this city for 30 years. I was one of 9 children, and we were struggling, although I thought we were very wealthy. It was only many years later I realized that we were not the wealthiest family in the neighborhood. But we went through the Boston Public Schools. My mother worked very hard at Lemuel Shattuck Hospital. She also organized many street cleanup, and she served on the board of directors of the Mass Eye and Ear Infirmary, was a woman who had 37 grandchildren, born by the 9 children. And she epitomized to me the sacrifice that families make all the time in this great city. And while I can talk about the great legacy of the city of Boston, I can talk about the fact that this is the city where democracy really was born. This is the city where Crispus Attucks and 4 others gave their lives during the Boston Massacre on March 5th, 1770. This is the city that fought against oppression. This is a city that fought against Jim Crow. It's a city that fought for women's suffrage. It's the city that fought against injustice all around the world. And as I mentioned earlier, it was also the city that decided to challenge the apartheid regime some 10,000 miles away. I want to thank Mayor Flynn for signing the ordinance that was drafted right here in these chambers that led to the divestment of $12.5 million of Boston funds that were supporting the apartheid regime in South Africa. So, Ambassador Flynn, thank you so much. But it's also a city that has a city council that's proactive, that creates legislation, that votes on the budget every year, and that fights for the rights of everyone in our great city. So today, we swore in the newest mayor of the city of Boston, and I'm excited about Marty Walsh, and I will make this commitment. For my part, I can only speak for myself, that I will do everything possible to make sure that Marty Walsh becomes the most successful mayor in the city's history. He deserves our support. I also want to thank Tom Menino for the 30 years of commitment he made to the city, 20, as you know, as our mayor. So at this time, I will recognize Boston City Councilor Tito Jackson. I believe he wants to make a motion.
Mr. President, I move to nominate candidates for council presidency for 2014. Mr. President, I also, as you noted, this body is a very important body. The role of this body is greatly significant. It produced a mayor who served for over 20 years. It draws the lines that we actually run in and has a lasting impact. And I would ask that this year, breaking with tradition, but still within the rules, Mr. President, that we actually have discussion and have the nominees speak.
Is there a second? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Okay, your motion is granted, Counselor. Is anyone caring to speak at this time? Counselor Presley?
Thank you. A short while ago, we were all sworn in by our new mayor. In his remarks, Mayor Walsh spoke of issues that transcend neighborhoods and are sometimes parochial borders that divide neighborhoods and Bostonians. Violence, education, economic development, equity and equality and opportunity for all of the residents of our great city. Martin Walsh is the mayor of Boston. He is no longer just a son of Savin Hill, no longer beholden to the residents of his State House district. His priorities, his work, his agenda, his vision must now be citywide, as should this body, as should this body's president. Several days ago, and I thank him, Mayor Menino, in perhaps his last official act in office, signed my home rule petition to reform the state's antiquated liquor license laws. The mayor recognized the citywide importance of such an endeavor, the beneficial impact it's going to have on all of our neighborhoods, in fostering economic development, in building wealth, and building community. At a time when our new mayor speaks of all of our neighborhoods shining upon a hill, when he prioritizes bringing economic development to long underserved neighborhoods, when he pledges to tackle violence, when he promises to transform our schools, we as a body should send a signal that our priorities, our agenda, our promise to residents is just as inclusive. The person who leads this body should not have just a citywide vision, but also a proven commitment to the residents throughout the city. Humbly, decisively reelected to a third term as an at-large counselor, I am answerable to residents in all 22 neighborhoods in this city, and my work since being elected has reflected that political reality. I cannot hide from any voter. My staff cannot hide from any voter. The president of this body has citywide power and influence. But there's a profound difference between wielding citywide power and being held accountable for it. My purpose since being elected has been to advance policies and to cast votes that represent our individual and shared values, and more importantly, support our constituents and advance the city we love. My purpose and guiding principles have been to stand up for every Boston family, every neighborhood, every background, to see everyone, to label no one, to not stereotype or make assumptions, to be deliberate and thoughtful and responsible and fair in my decisions. We can and must unify. We come from different backgrounds and walks of life, but we can find common ground. We can and must build consensus, engage everyone and find commonalities, work towards common goal rather than stifle each other by our differences. Leadership for me has been and will continue to be about access, transparency, engaging the people of this great city in symbiotic partnership to push for real, meaningful change. Lord knows I don't have all the answers, but I do aim to actively seek them out by deliberation and prayer, and to use my best judgment. Leadership is more than a mere title. It's the ability to empower people around a common cause, to actively invite them to be a participant in defining and working towards a goal. I believe I have a proven and strong track record of doing that, representing an entire city, championing issues that often went without advocacy, issues that are neighborhood transcendent, issues that, when not addressed, erode at the fabric of us and break at the bonds of community. Contentious issues, issues that people considered provocative and controversial. But I was unafraid in tackling them because I knew in the end they would benefit us as a city. I worked hard to build a broad and diverse coalition, and in partnership with each and every one of you, to reach consensus on issues like sex ed and liquor license reform. I believe the residents of this city also want to be a contributing entity to the direction of our city and what it is to become. I believe that is what is needed in this moment in time as the city embarks on a new path. We can and should be charting this course together. It has been my honor to serve on this august body with each and every one of you. It will be my privilege to represent you and to lead you as your president. I humbly ask for your support and vote as president of this body. Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to be accorded the same opportunity to speak? They ask for a vote. Okay. So at this time, we will entertain the other part of Councilor Jackson's motion, which is to call for the election of the next president of the Boston City Council for the calendar year 2014. When the clerk calls your name, you will mention the name of the individual who you would like to serve as president of the City Council.
Councilor Baker. Bill Linehan. Councilor Baker, Bill Linehan. Councilor Siomo. Councilor Siomo, Bill Linehan. Councilor Flaherty. Councilor Flaherty, Bill Linehan. Councilor Jackson. Councilor Jackson, Ayanna Pressley. Councilor LaMattina. Councilor LaMattina, Bill Linehan. Councilor Linehan. Councilor Linehan, Bill Linehan. Councilor McCarthy. Councilor McCarthy, Bill Linehan. Councilor Murphy. Councilor Murphy, Bill Linehan. Councilor O'Malley. Councilor O'Malley, Ayanna Pressley. Councilor Pressley. Councilor Pressley, Ayanna Pressley. Councilor Wu. Councilor Wu, Bill Linehan. Councilor Yancey.
Ayanna Pressley.
Councilor Yancey, Ayanna Pressley. And Councilor Zakem. Councilor Zakem, Ayanna Pressley.
It is my honor to announce that the next president of the Boston City Council is Boston City Councilor William Linehan.
Okay. Well, first I want to thank you all very much, and I'm inspired by Councilor Presley's words here today. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Councilor Yancey for our dean of the delegation. He and I are the two senior citizens here on the Boston City Council. And we have to stick together, Charles, right? Charles and I have a number of connections cosmic as they may be, you know. It's an honor to stand here before all of you as the president of the Boston City Council. I thank each of my colleagues for their support and look forward to working with each and every one of you over the next 2 years. Having worked in city government for 25 years, I feel blessed to lead this body at this such important time. As the eldest of 8, growing up in the D Street project, I was thrust into a leadership role at a very young age. And I can't remember when I didn't feel that I was responsible in some way for what is going on around me. Not that I was always responsible all the time. I want to thank Edie, my mother, for steering me She said, Bill, nothing worthwhile comes easy. And it's ever so true. But before I go any further, I want to congratulate, as the new president, all of my colleagues for earning the rightful place here on the 2014-2015 Boston City Council. You are today's Boston City Council, and today is a new day for Boston. To the freshman class of Councilors McCarthy, Wu, and Zakem, welcome. You truly will enjoy this voyage. To Councilor Flaherty, welcome back. Your experience and understanding of government will be an invaluable asset to all of us. To those re-elected, I look forward to continuing our purposeful journey together on behalf of the city and people of Boston. We know that the seas will not always be calm, but as always, we will stay the course for those who sent us here. I am truly excited to serve with you all once again. When we undertake a life of politics and public service, we sacrifice to do so. But most of all, others sacrifice for us. I personally want to recognize my beautiful wife, Judy, for being there for me. I'm truly grateful for you allowing me to do the things that I do. I'd also like to recognize my talented and loving children, Kristen, Brendan, Sean, and Brooke. Bonnie Linehan, my favorite daughter-in-law. And Tommy Armour from Belfast, Ireland, my favorite son-in-law. Not easy being married to Linehans. I'd also like to recognize my colleagues, spouses and significant others. If you're in the room, would you please stand and let's give them a hand? Because you can hear the loud voices up on the left. Those are my brothers and sisters, extended family, and all my... I thank them so much for everything, for their love, for their support. Today, we have such a great city and a commonwealth because of those who came before us. To that, I want to take an opportunity to thank, right now, today, Tom Menino for leaving us a city in such great shape. And thanking him for his true love of it in guiding us and directing us as a true leader for the city for 20 years. Let's give Tom Menino a hand. Tom Menino was a past president of this body, and I want to acknowledge my predecessor, Stephen Murphy, for his great job over 3 years. Nancy as president of this body, and also Michael Flaherty. A fellow counselor who went on to be mayor, who went on to be ambassador, my neighbor, and someone I'm proud who votes for me. I feel honored that he does that. Our mayor and Ambassador Ray Flynn. I want to thank John Nucci and Diane Modica, who were former councilors that are here also, and my fellow South Boston elected Nick Collins, who's up here in the... And the son of Roxbury, Garrett Saunders. Where are you? I want to thank them all for their friendship, and there's a number of people from actually the Boston Patrolmen's Association, a dear friend and Vice President Ron McGilvery and his cohort Jim Barry, Ron, and my dear friend Angela Cristiani for the Boston Teachers Union. Thank you for being here. And I try to do this, and John Sakara, and John from CENA. And John reminds me that I have to do a good job if I become president, because I was a former member of CENA here in the city of Boston. So I want to take one moment to thank veterans that are here in the room, veterans that are watching on TV, because if not for your sacrifice and service, this system of democratic elected government would not be in place. To all of you, we are all grateful. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, these are very special times to be part of elected office in the city of Boston. A new mayor was sworn in and has taken the reins of municipal government, and we 13 have been chosen by the people to be his partners in moving our city for the next generation. Congratulations to you, Mayor Marty Walsh. We look forward to working closely with you over the next 2 years. It is my hope, with the help of my fellow councilors, that at this time in Boston's development, we take a fresh look and a new approach in a manner in which we work with the new administration. Expand on the lines of communication. Much experience and skill exists on this body in matters of governance, finance, policy, service delivery, and program creation. We, the council, today offer this to our new mayor. It is my intention to work with all members, each and every one of you, to create an even better Boston City Council. We have a responsibility to those who came before us to improve this body for the betterment of Boston citizens. I will embrace all my members in developing committees, leadership positions, and legislative initiatives so as to better provide for all of Boston. Collectively, we have received hundreds of thousands of votes from every enclave and neighborhood of this city. And therefore, I want to make sure that they are all heard and do whatever I can to facilitate this great government. I plan to work with my colleagues over the next 2 weeks, for the next 2 weeks to form working groups that will assess present practices and build a more sharing infrastructure for the next 2 years. Create a true climate of specificity and reciprocity. In this new mayor and this new council, the citizens of Boston have much hope. Hope and great expectations in the 14 people they elected November 6th to handle the affairs of this city. We have an annual operating budget of $2.5 billion and another $500 million in loan orders that get authorized in capital investment. How we tax, how we levy fees, fines, how we invest are paramount to the well-being of our city. That stewardship is our responsibility. I believe if we all share equally in the burden of this work, we can ensure that we will all benefit. I truly enjoyed the challenges I have faced over the nearly 7 years, looking forward to working with all of you in this, my 5th term as the District 2 City Councilor from South Boston. You have given me this honor as your president. I am forever grateful and will not let you or Boston down. Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to send a delegation led by predecessor, former President Murphy, of Baker, Councilor Baker, Councilor Wu, Siomo, and Councilor Jackson to escort the mayor here for his remarks. The good thing is that the mayor is very close by. I would like to add that, Madam Malley, you look good in my seat. A lot younger, I'll add. How we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, the new mayor of the city of Boston, the new leader of this great city, and our new partner, Martin J. Walsh, Mayor of Boston.
As I was walking in here, I've been in here in this chamber many, many times for elections of presidents, and I've listened or heard the mayor speak to the crowd, and I have no idea what he ever said, because I guess I wasn't listening, and I should have. So I know the first thing I do have to say is congratulations to your new president, Bill Lenihan, and I look forward to working with President Lenihan over the course of the next couple of years. I also want to congratulate all of the councilors. We're all friends. I've worked with many of you, most of you, for a long period of time. And I know the good work that you do, and I know the good work that you do in your neighborhoods and in your districts and citywide. And I look forward to working with you over the course of the next couple of years to really move our city forward. In today's speech, we talked a little bit about creating more transparency, more openness, making sure that we give everyone an opportunity, not just a few. And I want to make sure that we will work together on that so every neighborhood in this city of Boston gets a chance to benefit from economic development, gets to benefit from good quality schools, gets to make sure that they're safe neighborhoods. And I truly do look forward to working with all of you. I just want to pull out a few of you, though, however, Michelle Wu, Josh Zakem, Tim McCarthy, and returning Michael Flaherty. Congratulations, because I know a lot of the people in this room today are your supporters, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be in public life. It's exciting to get elected to office. You know, I had the pleasure of spending 16 and a half years up on Beacon Hill working with people. You know, sometimes something will be written about you or something will be said about you. You just got to remember, always keep, it's the people that come first, regardless of what happens. And that's the beauty about being in public service. You can give back every single day, and it's such a rewarding job. So I want to congratulate you especially. I'll just end with, I'm honestly looking forward. In the campaign, I spoke about working with the City Council as a partner. And I come from a culture of working with as a partnership. We might not agree on some issues every single day. We might not agree on every single issue. There's going to be times where we don't agree on issues. There's going to be times when you don't agree on issues. But the important thing for all of us is to make sure that when we walk out those doors, or I walk out the mayor's office, that we leave the fight on the floor and not taken out, because we want to move our city forward. Thank you, and God bless.
One last time, Mayor Martin Walsh. We're going to take a brief recess before we take on regular meeting proceedings. Thank you. We need to do the, oh, right here. I didn't. The minutes stand, we'd have to approval of the minutes. So the minutes will stand approved. Hearing no objections,
Minutes are
then the minutes stand approved. Excuse me? But I have to do this one first, the one that gives us rules to play with.
Poor Zaken missed his first meeting.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please proceed with the regular meeting, and please take out of order docket number 0111.
Docket number 0111, order that the City Council adopt the City Council rules of 2013 as temporary rules for the 2014 municipal year. Suspending.
At this time, I would like to suspend and pass this. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it.
Now,
Report of public officers.
and
Madam Clerk, please read the dockets.
Docket number 0104, communication was received from the City Clerk from the Board of Election Commissioners certifying the results of the election held for the Mayor and City Council.
Docket number 0104 will be placed on file.
Docket number 0105, communication was received from Nikhil Nadarni, the Climate and Building Program Manager, regarding the building and disclosure regulations approved on Wednesday, December 18th, 2013.
Docket 0105 will be placed on file.
Docket number 0106, communication was received from Sally D. Glora, City Auditor, transmitting the city's FY 2013 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report and basic financial statements.
Docket 0106 will be placed on file.
Docket number 0107, communication was received from the City Clerk of the filing by the Boston Redevelopment Authority of the application for the Boston Garden Development Corporation and Boston Proprieties, Limited Partnership, Chapter 121A project. I'm sorry.
Easy for you to say, Madam Clerk. Docket 0107 will be placed on file.
Docket 0108, communication was received from the City Clerk for the filing of the Boston Redevelopment Authority, the report and decision of the application of the Boston Garden Development Corporation and Boston Propriety Limited Partnership, Chapter 121A project.
Docket 0108 will be placed on file.
Docket number 0109, notice was received from the City Clerk in accordance with Chapter 6 of the Ordinances of 1979 regarding action taken by the Mayor on papers acted upon by the City Council at its meeting of December 4th, 2013.
Docket 0109 will be placed on file.
Docket number 0110, notices received from the city clerk in accordance with Chapter 6 of the ordinances of 1979 regarding actions taken by the mayor on papers acted upon by the city council at its meeting of December 11th, 2013.
Docket 0110 will be placed on file.
Personnel orders.
Madam Clerk, personnel orders, please.
Docket number 0112, Councilor Yancey offered the following order for the appointment of temporary employee Courtney Allen in City Council.
Councilor Yancey moves suspension of the rules and passage of docket 0112. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Say nay. The ayes have it. Madam Clerk.
Docket number 0113, Councilor Yancey for Councilor Wu offered the following order for the appointment of a temporary employee, David Vittorini and Henry Cohen in City Council.
Councilor Wu moves suspension of the rules and passage of docket 0113. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 0113 is passed.
Docket number 0114, Councilor Yancey for Councilor Wu offered the following order for the appointment of temporary employee Gary Webster in City Council.
Councilor Wu moves suspension of the rules and passage of docket 0114. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 0114 is passed.
Docket number 0115, Councilor Yancey for Councilor Flaherty offered the following order for the appointment of temporary employees Robin Casper, William E. Dickerson, Shaki Hasba, Ryan Spitz, Tricia Calgian, Maria Lanza, and Paul Sullivan in the City Council.
Councilor Flaherty moves suspension of the rules and passage of docket 0115. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 0115 is passed.
Docket number 0116, Councilor Yancey for Councilor McCarthy offer the following order for the appointment of temporary employee Liz Blasey and Steve McGuire in City Council.
Councilor McCarthy moves suspension of the rules and passage of docket 0116. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 0116 has passed.
Docket number 0117, Councilor Yancey for Councilor Zachem offer the following order for the appointment of temporary employee Daniel Sabor and Kendall Hennick, thank you, in the City Council.
Councilor Zachem moves suspension of the rules and passage of docket 0117. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Docket 0117 has passed.
We now are going to
Late files. Madam Clerk, late files. I'm informed by the clerk that there are
three
late files, which in absence of objection will be added to the agenda. Hearing no objection, the matters are so called. The clerk will read the first late file matter.
Councilor Charles C. Yancey for Councilor McCarthy ordered that effective Monday, January 6, 2014, the following named person be and hereby is appointed to the position set against their name until Friday, March 21st, 2014. Walter Applewhite.
Yeah, the matter is personnel in nature. So Councilor McCarthy moves suspension of the rules and pass.
And
all those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it.
If you would like, I'll read the two matters. That
okay.
This is notice from the Mayor, Martin Walsh, to the clerk. Dear Ms. Feeney, pursuant to provisions of State Statute 1991, Chapter 108, and other statutes hereunto enabling, I hereby appoint Michael LaConto of 32 Tennyson Street, West Roxbury, to the Boston School Committee for a term expiring January 1st, 2018. That's just placed.
That matter will be placed on file.
Again, a letter from Mayor Martin J. Walsh to the clerk pursuant to the provisions of State Statute 1991, Chapter 108, every other statute thereto enabling, I hereby appoint Dr. Hardin Coleman of 96 Bay State Road, apartment number 9, Boston, to the Boston School Committee for a term expiring January 1st, 2018.
That matter will be placed on file. Okay. The chair now moves adoption of the consent agenda. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the consent agenda is adopted. At this time, I'd ask all my colleagues to rise. And wishing to adjourn in the memory of the following. For Councilor O'Malley, Pierce Jeffrey Torpy. For Councilor Yancey, Ramona Yancey Frazier. Frederick Benjamin. For Councilor Siomo, Hugh Solari, Sr. For the Chair, Joseph King, Mary Lampron, William Bill McCarthy, and Kevin Dwyer. For Councilor Flaherty and the Chair, Russell Sonny Lindenfelder. And for Councilor Lamartina, Ann Picardi. I'd like to take a moment of silence. For the aforementioned, yes, Councilor Yancey. Yeah. And on behalf of Councilor Presley and Councilor Yancey, Dr. Edlin. Please, a moment of silence on behalf of the aforementioned. Thank you. The chair now moves that when we adjourn, we do so. No, sorry, wrong paragraph. I'm missing that part. On Wednesday, January 15th, 2013, at 12 o'clock noon. All those in favor of adjournment say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The council is adjourned. Thank you very much.